Beneath the waves of the Mediterranean lies a city once thought to be a myth. For centuries, scholars and explorers whispered about a place called Heracleion, known to the ancient Egyptians as Thonis. Some believed it was nothing more than legend, like Atlantis. Others insisted it must have existed, though no one could prove it. And then, in the year 2000, the sea finally gave up one of its greatest secrets. Divers stumbled upon massive statues, broken temples, and streets lost to time. The legendary city was real, and it had been hiding underwater for nearly 2,000 years. Heracleion was not just any city. In the centuries before Alexandria was founded, it was Egypt's most important port. Sitting on the edge of the Nile Delta, it controlled all trade between Egypt and the Mediterranean world. Every ship from Greece, Phoenicia, or the wider world passed through Heracleion. Pharaohs collected taxes there, and goods from across the ancient world filled its markets. The city became a crossroads of cultures, part Egyptian, part Greek, alive with temples, traders, and myths. Ancient writers like Herodotus even claimed that Helen of Troy and Paris once visited Heracleion before the Trojan War. But then, without warning, the city vanished. For centuries, no one knew why. Some said it was destroyed by earthquakes. Others believed floods or tsunamis pulled it into the sea. Religious texts hinted that it was punishment from the gods struck down for hubris. Whatever the truth, the city was gone. By the 2nd century BC, Heracleion disappeared from maps, memory, and history. All that remained were rumors in old manuscripts, speaking of a great city swallowed by the waves. Fast forward to modern times. In 2000, French archaeologist Franck Goddio led an expedition to search the seabed near Alexandria. Using sonar and submersible equipment, his team detected strange shapes buried in the silt. When divers went down, they found something astonishing. Enormous statues of pharaohs still standing in the sand. Stone blocks the size of cars, broken stelae inscribed with hieroglyphs. It was not just debris, it was an entire city, frozen in time, hidden beneath 30 feet of water. Piece by piece, Heracleion began to reveal itself. Archaeologists uncovered the ruins of a massive temple dedicated to the god Amun. They found sanctuaries to Osiris and Isis, where mysterious rituals once took place. Giant statues, some weighing more than 50 tons, lay toppled in the seabed, but remarkably preserved. Gold coins, jewelry, ceramic jars, and even small boats were pulled from the mud. The details told a story of a thriving port that once pulsed with life before disaster struck. The rediscovery of Heracleion was like opening a time capsule from 2,000 years ago. What made it even stranger was the way it sank. Unlike other coastal cities destroyed by volcanoes or earthquakes, Heracleion's collapse remains a mystery. Scientists believe the city was built on soft, unstable ground at the mouth of the Nile. Over time, a phenomenon called liquefaction may have occurred, where solid earth suddenly turns into quicksand after an earthquake. In just one catastrophic moment, entire buildings and streets could have plunged into the sea. To the people living there, it must have felt like the gods themselves had torn the earth apart. Legends surrounding the sunken city only add to its aura of mystery. Local fishermen had long spoken of strange stones snagging their nets in the area. Some even claimed to see ghostly shapes in the water. When archaeologists confirmed the discovery, many Egyptians saw it as proof of their ancestors' myths. Proof that stories of wrathful gods and drowned cities were not entirely fantasy. But for scientists, the biggest mystery remains: how much of Heracleion still lies undiscovered? So far, only a fraction of the ruins have been excavated. Much of the city is still buried beneath thick layers of silt, waiting for future expeditions. Each year, new artifacts surface: statues of gods, jewelry worn by priests, inscriptions revealing the city's role as a center of religion and commerce. Some even suggest Heracleion held a sacred festival of Osiris each year, a ritual that tied together the fate of the pharaoh and the fertility of the land. Standing underwater among the ruins, divers describe a surreal sight. Colossal statues loom in the dim light, their faces eroded but still majestic. Temple blocks rise from the seabed like the walls of a forgotten palace. Sunlight filters down through the waves, illuminating hieroglyphs carved 2 millennia ago. It is a city caught between two worlds, once a center of life, now a silent tomb beneath the sea. Heracleion's rediscovery is more than just archaeology. It's a warning. Civilizations rise and fall often faster than we imagine. What was once Egypt's greatest port disappeared in the blink of an eye, leaving behind only whispers and bones. If a city that powerful could vanish overnight, how many other stories of human history are still waiting to be uncovered beneath the earth or sea? Today, Heracleion remains largely off-limits to the public. Only archaeologists and divers with special permission can explore its ruins. Tourists can see some of its treasures in museums, but the city itself lies silent, hidden under the waves. Like Atlantis, it has become a legend reborn, except this one is real. So next time you think of Egypt, don't just picture pyramids rising from the desert. Picture a city drowned by the sea. Picture colossal statues staring through the dark, temples sleeping beneath the waves, and streets once filled with life now buried in silence. That is Heracleion, the city that sank beneath the sea and the mystery that still haunts the Mediterranean. Would you dare dive into its waters to see what secrets remain?